Hi everyone, welcome to Team Bryn's YouTube page. This is Eric the Cyborg returning back for after a good while with the new format up and coming, new set dropped actually. Got a new deck, or updated deck really. I'm going to be covering the Kashtira deck. More importantly, the pure on version, where it's just mainly the Kashtira stuff and nothing else added onto it. Anyway, let's get to it. So obviously starting off with the main three, triple Fenrir, no less than that obviously. Everyone should already know what he does. For those who don't, for some reason, I say 90% of the Kashtira monsters have the same verse effect. Is that if you have no monsters on the field, you basically just summon them out from your hand. Doesn't matter if your opponent has any monsters on board or not. And Fenrir searches is a once per turn search for any Kashtira monster. And also anytime your opponent activates a monster effect, or if he battles a monster or attacks a monster, he gets to target one face-up card in the field and bash it face down. And then to run alongside with the Fenrir is the triple Unicorn, your other main boy of the deck. He searches for any of your Kashtira spell cards, which with the new set for Photon Hypernova, you got an additional card to search off of it. And with him, same thing as the Fenrir. When a opponent's monster effect activates, or when he attacks, he looks at your opponent. He lets you look at your opponent's extra deck, and you banish one card from it face down. So get free knowledge of what your opponent's playing, and then get rid of something that would stop you in your tracks. So that's it for the old Kashtira stuff. Well, not really the old ones, but the set of at least. Time for the new ones. Obviously, 3 of the Kashtira Rise Heart. This is the brand new level 4 Kashtira monster. His effect is that if you have a Kashtira monster on your field, you basically just summon him from your hand for free. Awesome. His other effect is that you can also make him a level 7 monster, but to do that you would have to banish one. This card is normal, but summon this turn you banish one Kashtira card from your deck, except for itself, and then you basically banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, and he basically becomes a level 7. Yeah, basically just free summon and gets himself to be a level 7 for free. Super easy. To run alongside with the Rise Heart, we got 2 more new Kashtira monsters, which are forms of previous lore. I'm trying out 2 of the Scareclaw Kashtira. Same thing, except for this one. You could summon him out during, I believe, during the main phase as a quick effect. You banish a Kashtira card or a Scareclaw card from basically anywhere. Yeah, from hand or grave. Not really anywhere, but from hand or grave. And then he summons himself out. This is the main guy that you want to use against if you're under Baguska, because he can easily just beat over it, because like a super heavy samurai monster, he can attack while in defense mode, and he applies his defense stats for battle. So there's your main out to the Terror the Tower Tapir. Another new one is the one of the Tier Element Kashtira. This is one of the unfortunate new cards that tier elements are getting, but a really good thing for us as well, for the Kashtira players, because we get another level 7 body. Same summoning effect as the Scareclaw. You banish a Kashtira card or Kashtira and or a tier elements card from your hand or grave. Summon itself out, and then this once per turn you basically choose either yourself or your opponent, and that person mills the top 3 cards of their deck to the graveyard. For tier, it's great for them because they can just help themselves out to mill their deck to get more effects off. For you, you can basically force your opponent to mill their deck to where they just end up getting banished through other means, obviously. And then the other last Kashtira monster is the one Ogre. A lot of people are not playing this guy anymore. I mean, I can kind of understand why, because there's more names for you, but I feel like just having him is still a good thing. He searches for any of your Kashtira trap cards, even though you only run 2 Kashtira trap cards as one-ofs. His other effect is the same thing as Fenrir and Unicorn, except he basically snipes a card out of the opponent's hand and banishes face down, or you look at it, either one. But yeah, that is the entire Kashtira lineup. For my utility level 7 that I decided to go in for is 1 copy of Fog King in the main deck. Little spoiler ahead, I'm having 2 more copies in the side deck, which I'll go over later on. This guy is mainly to go against getting the Birud, which is the biggest hand trap that really kills this deck. Is Nibiru. This also beats out Lava Golem. This also beats out any Kaijus. It can slowly stop Flunderies, but their continuous spell sense for cost, and so it kind of doesn't get around that. It does? No? I don't know. Anyway, I could be wrong, but yeah, 1 Fog King, nice little utility main deck card, in my opinion. Hand traps, triple ash, with tier basically being a little bit more nerfed. Ash could see a lot more play again, because a good Ash can easily stop someone's turn. Same thing could go for the G Shifter, because this guy is still really good in the deck, and the deck wants stuff to get banished, so why not have the main boy to do it, you know? That's it for the monsters. Onto the spells. Unfortunately, we did open a case of the set, but we only, unfortunately, were able to pull only 1 of the field spell, which I mean is basically kind of, I guess, standard, because Konami wanted to make all the good stuff for this deck secrets in this set. Anyway, when it's activated, you search for a Kashtira monster and add it to your hand. Yada yada. All your Kashtira monsters gain 100 attack for every attribute you have on the board. Cool, nice little attack boost. Its third effect is that if your Stronger Era effect activates, you basically can get a free pop from the field spell. So you basically lock out a zone and you get a free pop. Because who doesn't like free pops? To coincide with the new field spell, we got a brand new spell card in Kashtira Theosis. This is basically emergency teleport for the deck. Because, yeah, they're all psychics, so why not? Or they're all mostly psychics. This one is that you target a Kashtira monster on your field, and you summon a different Kashtira monster with a different attribute from your deck in defense mode. This makes it to where your Unicorn is basically a 1-card combo to basically get everything else on your board. This does have a banish effect. Is that when this card is banished, you target 1 of your banished Kashtira cards except for itself and add it to your hand. So it also helps you to get back your resources to basically continue on with your shenanigans. And then back to the original, obviously triple birth. A lot of people are playing 2 of it because it's searchable, sure, but I still think having the 3 is really necessary because you want to see it like 90% of the time in case you do get like stopped really easily. It's a normal summon for no tribute for any of your level 7 monsters, so pretty much anything in your deck you could just slam down for a normal summon for no tribute. And when a spell card effect, or effect activates from your opponent, you target 3 cards in their graveyard and banish them face down. So again, more getting stuff banished face down. So yeah, 3, no less, maybe 2, but 3 is optimal in my opinion. Draw power, 3 Sacred Sword. You could swap these out for either prosperity or talents or whatever you want to do it with. I feel like this is better because this works out best with the birth because you would. Oh, I forgot to mention about birth. It is a once per turn. As well, target a Kashtira in the graveyard or banished, and you summon it out for free. So this works out perfectly with the Sacred Sword because you banish one of your Kashtira monsters, you draw 2 cards. Oh, you slap this down on the board, use the effect to bring that monster back. Basically, you basically drew 2 cards for free. But again, you could swap it out for prosperity or whatever preference you want to go for draw power. For the 1-up spells, 1 Call by the Grave because we want to stop hand traps as much as possible. I'm just testing out a Gold Sark. Same strategy goes with the Kashtira Birth. Banish a Kashtira with Gold Sark, activate Birth, bring it back out. We don't gotta wait 2 turns. And then obviously terraforming to search for your field spell because it is not a Kashtira spell card. Onto the traps. I'm surprised this card was only a common. This card at least deserved to be a super, if not higher. This card on the board is when you activate it on field. It is basically it is pseudo evenly matched for monsters. Because it would force your opponent to only control 1 monster. Its banish effect is where it's really cracked. Because if it's banished, you target a Kashtira exceeds monster on your field, and you get back 1 of the materials to your hand. From that monster, and you basically can summon it straight out, and then this goes right under it. So it pretty much swaps it. It basically just swaps material with something that you want to get back. So yeah, this card's crack. 1 preparation. A lot of people are not playing this card anymore. I don't understand why. This card can literally save you from being swung, can basically save you from being killed in the game. Because it's you summon a Kashtira from your hand or a banish pile once per turn while it's face up. And its other effect is that when your opponent activates a trap card or effect, you basically snipe another card out of your opponent's hand to match it face down. So nice little free body summon, and then as well gets another card out of your opponent's hand. And the last one, triple imperm, because why not? It's imperm. Need to have something to go against the opponent so that they cannot build anything against you. That is the main deck at 40 cards. Again, I'm fixing up everything here and there with ratios and all that. But anyway, let's get on to the good old extra deck. Starting off with the previous old good boy, the 2 Shangri-Eras. This card is absolutely bonkers. Again, for those who don't know what he do, anytime a card is banished face down by any means, no matter, well, as long as your opponent does it, obviously, you target a unused monster and main monster and or spell or trap card zone on their field, and you lock it out. And that lock stays there as long as this card stays face up on the field. Which is why your opponent's going to be having either lava golems, either kaijus, or use whatever it means to basically get rid of this. Because with this and the new card, it basically you can single-handedly lock out at most like 3 or 4 zones turn 1. And he can also protect. He also has a protection effect, but only for himself, unfortunately. If he were to be destroyed by a card effect or battle, he would detach he would detach material instead. So, unfortunately, it's only for himself. If only he did it for everything else. But alas, we cannot have too many nice things. Now for the main new boy, obviously, the 2 of the Kashtira Rise Heart. This card is absolutely bonkers again. Because this guy can basically be cheated out by not using 3 level 7 monsters. You can instead put him on top of any Kashtira monster the same turn that this guy uses his effect. So you can basically use any of your regular Kashtira monsters, slap this guy over it, and bam, you have a 3K walking macrocosmos. Yes. Oh, and obviously, as long, and by meaning that, he's anything sent to the graveyard is banished instead, as long as he's face up. Also, once per chain, when something is banished face down, when anything gets banished, he basically gets to take it as excuse material. So you basically can just keep stacking up material straight under him, non-stop, until it gets stopped. Its final effect is that you can detach three excuse materials from it, target 1 card on the field, and banish it face down. Again, you banish it face down, you basically be like, oh, I'll take that with me. Free stuff. So those are the Kashtira Xyz monsters. Onto the rest of the utility 7s. I'm still planning on doing the double Diablosis, the Mind Hacker. You use this card you use him to basically look at your opponent's extra deck and banish a card from it face down. And this guy also banishes the top card of your opponent's deck equal to the number of face down banish cards they have. So if they happen to do like, oh, I activate Pot of Desires while this guy's out on the field. I don't know why you would do that, first of all, but you would be basically banishing 20 cards for a draw 2. That's basically not worth it at that point. But yeah, he basically makes it to where your opponent decks out faster, and he helps get your Shangri-Era to lock out more zones. Double Zeus. I currently don't have a second one. I'm working on that right now. Again, Double Zeus. He's great for basically the mirror match. Basically wipes out everything on board. If you can get Zeus stacked under a really good this guy, you basically have a Zeus that can send up to like infinite times. Basically, is like you just keep building up material under it, and you just keep sending cards. Yeah, this is another main Kashtira killer, which is why you also want to use your unicorn and your Diablosis to mainly get rid of this guy as soon as possible. Because if you let him resolve, you're basically done, unless you're able to easily come back from it. For the single ring 7s, 1 flare metal for burning for game 3, if by chance. 1 of the Dark Arm Xyz, pop 2 cards, because why not? Currently testing out the Titanic Moth in the seeing on how he works out for me. If you have, I don't fully remember what he did. If you show no other monsters, this card can attack directly, and if it does, the battle damage is halved, and then he also deals burn damage when he inflicts battle damage. You basically just deal battle damage, detach, and he deals more burn damage, because why not? 1 Harmonizer. This card is still pretty good because against tier, you basically take any of the tier elements that they mill off their effects. You basically take it and absorb it as a material, and the effect doesn't go off. Same thing for the Bestials. They would target any dark or light in the grave. Chain her effect, take that. They have no summon of a bestial monster. And then obviously the big guy himself, the big eye, free steal, really great in the mirror match as well. Basically, you can take another body to use as a free material. Nothing else the same from that. The last 2 spots are for certain occasions. 1 Lingering Build. This is for if you basically get Ibleed, because there's a lot of people that are going to start playing Iblee. So having something to go into to basically get rid of that Iblee is, again, a really good thing to have. Another choice is to go for the for higher Link 2, the Donner, because it's a generic Link 2 that just needs 2 monsters with different types. And she can basically also target herself and another card on the field and destroy them both. So basically makes your field empty for your Kashtira plays right after that. But again, this is Link 2, so you would have to waste a normal summon for it, obviously, as well. So we'll have to figure out on how that works out. That is the extra deck. Quickly go over the side deck really quick. Nothing too far ahead. Again, I've mentioned before, my 2 other copies of Fog King for, again, facing against Nibiru, Kaijus, Lava Golem, etc., etc. Speaking of Lava Golem's for going second. Gets rid of the Shangri-Ira and the Rice Hearts really easily. I mean, sure, you waste your normal summon, but again, the deck doesn't really rely on a normal summon that much, except when you actually need it through Birth's Effect. So yeah, it's Lava Golem. Get rid of the big boys and go from there. Duster for back row removal, because I think Labyrinth is going to be seeing a lot more play with the new support they got, and with the new ban list happening. Triple Lightning Storm, because again, back row removal, and also a neat little monster removal as well. I might swap these out for possibly Dark Hole as a nice little other option to get rid of the Iblee. But again, I'll test it out and figure it out from there. Last one is Triple Book of Eclipse. This is another great card to use against the mirror match, or against really any other deck, really, because as long as you put as long as you put everything face down, you're basically free to do whatever you want from that point. If you're facing Shaddolls, you put a window face down, you're free to do whatever you want. You're facing a Baguska and you don't have the don't have the out to it already in your hand, but with Eclipse, put it face down, you're free to play. Pretty much just free to get everything you need going on. Okay, the last one is evenly matched, again for going second. The opponent sets up a tired board, you drop evenly matched on them, they gotta pick one card obviously. They pick the wrong card, you basically play for free. Anyway, that is my current build of the Kashtira deck. Again, I'm working on everything for ratios and what to have and take out and all that stuff. Yeah, this is a really good deck for the upcoming format with the new balance dropping basically tomorrow as of filming this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Make sure to stay tuned for more future post-Photon profiles, and we'll hope to see you all next time.